This video is brought to you by my Patreon members over on patreon.com/habtunes. Thank you all for your support, and if you're interested in becoming a member, you can check the link in the description below. Yo, what's good? It's me, your guy, all the way from Bed-Stuy, Habbo, and we're here for another exciting episode of the Art Block. And today, I have with me the one, the only, none other than California's own BOMAYE.
Hello, hello, the Art Block Season 2. I feel good. Today was actually a really good day, so I'm glad I had a good day coming into this. How are you doing?
I'm alive, like Johnny Five. I'm alive. Yeah. Now I bet you were wondering, why the hell am I on this art podcast? And I'm pretty sure some other people might be questioning that, but you guys stop it. Everybody hush, because let me tell you something right now. This guy's a writer. Low key. You don't know it, but he's a writer. Last year, me and him actually collaborated on this like really silly conversation about Seinfeld between George and Jerry, and it was really fun. So I consider you a writer, and writers to me are artists. So
yes, I guess that officially means I can go on strike, which I will be doing. So that's great. That's great news.
Yeah, well, actually, that's a good thing. We can get into that after. But first, tell the people, who the hell are you, and why do you have all these cool things in your background?
So I am BOMAYE, and I have all these things in my background because I'm a nerd. But I am something of a content creator hobbyist, let's say. I stream on Twitch. That's basically what I do. I stream on Twitch.
What do you stream on Twitch?
Vidya games, to be exact. This year I'm playing as many Souls and Souls-like games as I can, and I've also added another layer with playing indie games on Wednesdays, because the indie game industry it flies under the radar sometimes unless there's like a Hades or a Stray or something like that, and there's just so much good stuff happening on the indie scene. So using my little platform to highlight that is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and now I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's absolutely really dope, because when we first met, as many people who follow us know, you were still kind of new to all these different types of genres and games, and especially, you know, something as crazy and hardcore as Dark Souls or the Souls games or Souls-like. So how did you transition from playing something like Watch Dogs Legion and ended up being like the Elden Lord?
So I've been gaming my whole life, but I didn't get to always pick which games I played. I had some semi-strict parents who were very much like, you can't play this, I don't like the cover of that, we're not doing that. Same. So I had to play whatever they got me. But then when I became an adult and I was in charge of my own money, I decided it was time to play some of the popular games that I missed. So when I got my PS5, I did Demon Souls. When I started streaming, I got into like Destiny 2. I'd like never really played a first-person shooter before, other than like Call of Duty at somebody's house. What's that other game? Forza Horizon.
Oh,
never
boy.
really into racing games. So I kind of, that's where it started, with going back to these like major franchises. Like, did I mention Destiny 2?
Yes.
I literally just said it. Yeah, like Destiny 2, Forza, and a whole bunch of other stuff, a whole bunch of other genres that I was trying for the first time. And really, it was streaming that got me to branch out, because I remember a time in my life where I was looking for more games like Batman Arkham, and there just weren't a lot of them at the time because everybody was making first-person shooters, and it was so frustrating. And I didn't know what else was out there because my parents were buying games for me. So it was just the perfect storm of starting to stream and branching out. It all just coalesced into me now playing rock hard RPG games and dipping my little toes into the indies.
Not little toes. You know, it's kind of funny though when you when you think about it. Like, when you're a kid, you are subjected to whatever your parent or guardian allows you to play, right? Like, we've all had weird games or stuff that were like really just oh, this is Call of Duty at home. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't really always get the thing that you were looking for, the thing that you wanted. I remember one thing that I had as a kid, and this wasn't even my parents. This was like a birthday gift. I think I was like 9 years old, and this was at the height of like Smash Brothers and Pokemon and all this stuff. And this one kid from my class, I'll never forget, his name was David. For some reason, his mom got me this game called Tetrisphere. And it's basically like Tetris, but it's a globe, and your mission is to like take all the pieces off and unlock the robots that are trapped inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
it's
rough. You're not in charge of your own experience.
Yeah.
And then the adults who are buying games for you have terrible taste or just don't know what a young person would like as a video game.
Absolutely. So do you find that now, with the abundance of having disposable income, do you feel that because I feel this way, and tell me if you do you feel that now you have too much going on? Like, every time you turn around, there's like a sale, and then you're like, oh, let me just grab these like 15 games, and now you got this huge backlog. How do you manage that? And do you ever try to get through everything?
I don't manage it. I am always buying games that I'm probably never gonna play. But I have made a concerted effort this year, at least, to start finishing some of the games that I started or games that I bought and never played. And actually, I have some tentative plans to bring my backlog onto streaming. So that might be a thing coming up. The unfortunate part is there are only so many days in the week. So
in so many years in your lifetime.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to use some of my streaming time as backlog time, but there's just too many games to play. There's too many games. Viewfinder is coming out tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Then Remnant 2 is coming out next week on the 25th. And I'm currently playing through. I started Fist, Forged, and Shadow Torch. I started
playing
Need for
that the other
Speed
day.
Underground. Okay, so I stopped Fist because I got to a weird underwater part.
Oh.
And I'm just like, nope.
Is it like bad nope, or like you're not ready for this nope?
For some reason, I wasn't expecting a swimming portion in a action adventure platformer, but
you never played Metroid? They always got water in Metroid.
I did, and that's why I'm like, I should have seen this coming, but I wasn't ready for it. But yeah, like Need for Speed Underground started that. I started playing Hitman, the World of Assassination trilogy. I started a new playthrough of Cyberpunk the other day. I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom. I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And then I started Bloodborne for my Saturday stream. So I'm not managing my backlog very well.
Yeah, that's a lot of games.
Question.
That is a lot of games.
Yeah, it is. And when I spend time playing on the Nintendo Switch, because the control scheme is so different, when I come back to PlayStation or Xbox, I'm pressing what I think the action button is, but it's the back button, and everything, it's just all chaos.
Yeah,
I can't handle it.
I think we weren't meant to have all this power. That's the problem.
No.
It's too much stuff going on. Like, we should not be on like 15 consoles with 20,000 games, especially when everything is so different now. But I feel like most games kind of like have become unified in a sense. Like, if you're playing a Souls-like game, you know how to play the game. Like, they all control differently. I mean, they all control the same. If you're playing an FPS, they end up controlling the same in some regard. But if you're playing a Nintendo game, might as well just get I need to play a game for dummies or something, because they just be all over the place.
You might as well be using a console you've never used before if you're switching back and forth from like a PlayStation or Xbox to a Nintendo console, because they just do everything wrong. They do everything wrong. Their games are great, but the control layout is just wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. It's silly.
You know, I've been really curious about something, and there's so much for us to talk about, but this has been bothering me about you for like the last few weeks.
Right.
And if you can't talk about it, that's fine. We will edit it out. But I need to know, Why aren't we going outside? What is don't go outside? What is that? What is that?
So that is the name of my YouTube channel currently. It has been through 9,000 name changes
Screaming Skull.
since 2020. Screaming Skull was one of them. I'm probably going to change it again once you can only change them so many times within a certain time frame. So once that time frame is up, I'm probably going to change it again. But YouTube to me is interesting because it's sort of difficult. I'm trying to talk while I'm turning my phone volume down at the same time. YouTube is weird because you can post a video. I guess it's like any social media site. You can post something there and maybe it'll get some traction, maybe it won't. And it all just depends on like the algorithm and how lucky you are that day and the humidity and the air quality index. And if, it's just, there's a variety of factors that goes into the YouTube thing, which is why I'm switching it up as often as I do, because I'm just trying to find the content that I want to make on that platform. And I haven't found it yet. So Don't Go Outside is just currently what it's called while I'm ruminating on what I should do with that channel.
Okay, I was scared. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it was like a month ago you commented on something. I was like, who is this? Like, this sounds so scary. What is Don't Go Outside? I was like, I wanted to ask you, like, did you get hacked? I was like, what is going on?
It's not safe. Don't go out there. It's a scam.
But when did you ever have inspiration or aspirations to pursue content creation or streaming full time, or was this always a hobby for you?
There was a point in my life where I was like, yeah, maybe I could do this full time. It would certainly be nice, I thought at the time, to be a full-time content creator, because I was just thinking about the aspect where I don't have to go into an office. I don't have to dress a certain way. I don't have to talk to people that I don't want to talk to. I was thinking of all of the good and fun and cheery and happy aspects of full-time content creation. But now I'm enjoying myself more, that I'm looking at it as a hobby, because I am doing things that are fun to me. So whether there's 20 people in the chat or 2 or 0, whatever I'm doing when I'm making my content, I'm having a good time. And it has been so much better for me since I started thinking of it that way, instead of, trying to be like build a large, massive audience that I probably can't even talk to because the chat is moving 1,000 miles per hour. So yeah, I had aspirations of doing this full time, but those have slowly faded into the background as the desire to just have fun with video games again takes the forefront. Because the same thing happened to me with writing, as you mentioned earlier. I've been writing since like maybe middle school, just like poetry and short stories and other things. And then when if you have any sort of talent, when people find out you have that talent, they want to utilize it. And it became like work. It became like having a job when I was writing things for other people as opposed to writing what I wanted to write. So fast forward to me in my 30s, I am now figuring out like what is fun for me as far as this whole content creation thing, and I'm just focusing in on that.
That's a really good perspective, and I want to hone in on that because I feel like a lot of the time, everybody, as soon as this thing became such a quote unquote easy thing to do, because anybody can get like a console straight from your console, you can stream now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can get a super cheap camera from Target. You can get a really dumb microphone from the local hardware store and put everything together, and boom, there you are. You're sitting in front of something. Now that has broadened the content creation space, right? So I feel like a lot of the times people get into this and they're like, oh, this is going to be easy, this is going to be fun. Even with this new stuff with the TikTok NPC thing where everybody's like, meow, meow, like, oh my God, wow. You know what I mean? And it's like, Like, why do you think people jump at something and then feel the need to make money from it? Like, what would you say to people that are trying to just make everything monetized? You know what I mean? Like, where do you draw the line between, okay, can we just have something for us, or do I have to make everything a moneymaker?
So it's that I feel like that is a, or maybe it isn't. Maybe we should be talking about it more. But I was gonna say I feel like that's something we talk about all the time. But I think once you are at the point where what you're doing isn't fun anymore for you, that's the line. That's where you have to take a step back and say, am I still enjoying this? Because I feel like you can monetize something that you do enjoy and still enjoy it. There is a way to balance that, I believe. I can't do it because when something starts to feel like work, then it feels less fun. But I feel like people should just be asking themselves, am I still having fun? Or is doing this like stressing me out? Is it taking a toll on my physical health, my mental health? Like, because nothing is worth that. But I also feel like you should just keep something for yourself.
Mm.
I have video games that I don't play on stream because I just want to play the game without having to, you know, be entertaining or thinking of a good title for the stream or using the right hashtags. Sometimes I just want to sit down and play a video game. So I do. I just do. I stopped doing the Lego streams because sometimes I just want to sit down and build a Lego set.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's like I said before, when it stops being fun or when it starts taking a toll on, like a heavy toll on you, then you gotta step back and reevaluate.
Absolutely. I think that's wonderful advice. And honestly, I try to incorporate that with my own stuff too, with my brand, because like you said, sometimes it can just be too stressful because now you have to be always on. Now you have to be entertaining. Now you have to talk to a chat, and like you got the lights on you. It's a lot of stuff going on. Like you can feel drained at the end of it. Like when I first
Yes.
started, I was doing like a full week and I was like, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I admire everybody that like does this like super hardcore full time, like the big names like Kai Cenat and all them folks. But like
Yes.
this is like actual work. This is not just sitting here playing, the game and having a good time. And I appreciate your side of it and your perspective because it harkens back to those days before we cannibalized entertainment and just cannibalized fun for the sake of a dollar. Like if you look back at like the early days of YouTube, 2008, people were just uploading things just to upload them. They were just making skits just to make skits. They were doing let's
Yes.
plays just to make let's plays. And now it's like, oh my God, what's up everybody? This is Johnny B and we're playing Elder Scrolls 5. Let's see how many cheese wheels I can eat before my character It's like, come on,
Goodness.
sometimes
Yeah,
it's
the
fun,
internet
but
used
like,
to be fun.
yeah. Sometimes you might have 20 people in the chat. Sometimes you might have 0 people in the chat. Let's kind of reach into this and talk about your mental health, not just you specifically, but the mental state of someone that might be experiencing low numbers or low retention when they're streaming. Even as a hobbyist, does this ever affect you?
It used to. I would be lying if I said that it didn't still affect me a little, but it used to sting a little bit more because it was like it was that feeling that I think a lot of creative people get where it's like I'm giving 110% and it feels like I'm getting 1% back. Um, so it just goes back to the am I having fun question because when I'm having fun, I won't say I don't care that no one's in the chat, but it affects me a lot less because one, I'm playing a game that I was gonna play anyway, and two, refer back to point number one. I'm playing a game I was gonna play anyway, so I'm having a good time, but it's really hard to get to a place where the numbers don't matter as much and the analytics don't matter as much. But what has helped is So, when you're streaming on Twitch and you got the little dashboard in front of you that shows you how many viewers are in the chat, I turn that off. I turn it off and I don't turn it back on. And also, that email that Twitch sends you every time you end a stream, where it's like, you had this many viewers and you streamed for this many hours and this many people followed. I unsubscribe from those two, because what that email in particular shows you is a comparison of the stream you just ended to last week's, or the last time you streamed. So if you had a really good stream last time and then you have like a mid or not so good stream this time, I'll speak for myself, it made me feel like shit. It made me feel like I did something just like so wrong this stream from last stream, and I was just in my head about that so much. It was like a emotional roller coaster. It was like, when the numbers were green, I was happy. When the numbers were gray, I was so upset and I was so confused, because it's like, what did I do differently this time from last time? So yeah, I stopped focusing on the numbers, and this is going to be a running theme. I started focusing on the fun. I focused on the fun, that like hashtag focus on the fun. It made it easier on the days where there wasn't as much participation in the chat, because again, I'm having fun and I don't need a whole bunch of people there for me to have fun. So
Right.
it comes back to having fun. I don't know what else to tell you. You have to enjoy yourself. Otherwise, it's almost not worth it, even if you have a large audience, because that's just like having a normal job. I can go to my office and make money and be unhappy. So, I mean, yeah, you just have to. For me, it was prioritizing just the fun factor.
I think that's the most critical point in all of this, whether a person is professional or they're doing this just for the hell of it. I think if you get on Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or any other streaming platform and you're playing a game or doing any other thing and you're focused on, oh my God, this person's not here, oh my God, that person's not here, or this number is lower, that number is higher, this, that, and the third, and you're not focusing on like what you're actually doing, it can take the fun out of everybody, for everybody.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you're sitting there grumpy, because we've been there, we've been in streams where we've seen people get grumpy, and I feel like both of us have done the same thing, and it's like, it's not a pleasant thing. It's not a pleasant thing.
Yeah. I've definitely been so upset that no one was in the chat that I ended a stream way earlier than I planned to.
Yo, me too.
I just rage quit the stream.
How you rage quit?
Yeah. So, I mean, what more can I say? I've definitely rage quit a stream before, but
Yo, that's so funny to me. Rage quit the stream.
But yeah, you just have to make sure that nothing is stopping you from enjoying yourself, and making sure that this, because all of this, for some people it's not optional because they've made this their career, but for a lot of us who it's not a career thing, this is kind of all optional. So if you're voluntarily if you're voluntarily doing something and not enjoying yourself, then what is the point?
Exactly.
What is the point?
Exactly. Now, you do something else that's really amazing that I think a lot more people should partake in, especially myself, and I kind of been getting into it a little bit. What you do is every month you take at least a week off from streaming and social media. How has that benefited your overall mental health, and how does that feel when you come back and feel refreshed?
Being off of social media, I learned this during like the worst parts of the pandemic. Just being off of social media for like I would say like 3 consecutive days is just like, I'm not worried. I'm not checking notifications every time my phone makes a noise. I'm not seeing how many people like this. I'm not seeing how many views are on this YouTube channel. I am just living my life. I'm going outside. I'm catching up on TV shows and movies. It's fantastic. fantastic. And I will add on top of that, when I take breaks from streaming and social media, it doesn't mean that I like ball that part of my brain up and sit it somewhere where I can't see it. It's just not in the forefront anymore. But I found that when I set all of that aside for a minute, I can come up with new ideas. I can figure out how to do something that I was struggling with before. It's sort of like that thing where you're struggling with a particular part of a video game, let's say a From Software or From Software style game, and you just sit that game down for like a week, and then you come back and you fucking blaze it first try. It's sort of like that, where it's like I can still think about it without being wrapped up in it. And that allows my brain to stretch its legs so I can come up with new ideas, work on new things. And it's just so good not to scroll Twitter and see the latest, like, is an ice cream date for adults appropriate?
Oh my
or
God. Not
this,
that
that, and the
topic.
other. So
No, my favorite one is the
so
one where
stupid.
it's like a picnic, but it's all junk food, and it's like, would you go to this? And it's like, who cares? If this is your thing and your girl or your guy likes this, then go do you. Like, who cares?
Yes. Just being away from all of the like culture war and social issues and people bringing their personal preferences to a general audience and expecting everyone to agree with it and then getting mad when they don't. Like all of that is just gone when my phone screen is black. And I can't recommend it highly enough. It's so good. It's so good. Everyone should take a break.
Oh, absolutely. That's a double recommendation for me, because those moments where, like you said, you're not doom scrolling on Twitter or any other platform, it just feels so refreshing. And I feel like we're not meant to be on these things like that. I think we were supposed to have this as just like an ancillary thing to our lives, but not be a main point or main focus. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, like, I think it was maybe a couple of weeks ago where I started realizing, like, I probably should delete Clubhouse. Because literally all Clubhouse is now are just like, should black women do this? Should black men do that? if you are a man and you're not making this, or if you're a woman and you don't cook, and it's like, what is going on? I need to leave this platform. I need to leave Clubhouse, because that's all it is. And I just think that taking regular breaks and touching grass, as they say, or going outside or doing something else completely different can, realign you, because it's all part of your health. Like everything you do, whether you are consuming food or consuming social media, it's all about your health at the end of the day.
Yeah, and these apps are designed for the doom scroll. They don't want you to ever exit out of the app. So when your brain is just on like whatever the latest conversation is, or is Kiki Palmer and her boyfriend breaking up, or your brain could be doing other things. It could be doing other things other than like passively consuming pictures and words. Because the reason I like taking the break is because it allows my brain to do other things, to think about other things. And
like
let me tell you,
Barbenheimer.
when I'm on, like Barbenheimer, when I'm scrolling the apps, I am just so upset. Everything I see on Twitter, anything that's not funny is upsetting.
Yeah.
So it's like having that much like upsetting stuff going into your eyeballs and brains and body, causing all types of like micro stress. Is that a thing?
It is now. You just made a new word. You coined it. 2023.
Micro stress.
Copyright.
Yes. TM.
Exactly.
Having all of that stress, I feel like just entering you all of the time at all hours of the day and night, it has to be unhealthy. It has to be unhealthy. So it's like taking a break from exercising. Because if you exercise too much, your body's not going to function properly. You need some days to heal from the workout you're getting. Now, exercising is much healthier than scrolling, but you get the metaphor. It's there. So yeah, we got to take breaks from content creation, even if it's a hobby, because for me it's a hobby, but I still need breaks. And we got to take a break from the social media because it's just so much negativity out there.
Yeah.
We can't consume that all the time.
Absolutely. And the bottom line, I think the lesson through this whole part of this conversation is everything in moderation. Everything in moderation, because even if you are having fun and you're playing games, you know, if you're sitting the wrong way, you might mess up your back. So every once in a while, get up and walk around and stretch or whatever the case may be. Now, BOMAYE, you're not just a gamer. You're not just a writer. You're not just a taco enthusiast or burrito enthusiast.
That's mostly what I am, though.
You are a movie guy, or some people would say movie buff. Okay.
Okay.
So let's get into cinema, as Martin Scorsese would say. This is cinema.
This is cinema.
Are you interested at all in this whole Barbenheimer situation? Are you going to do the double feature this week?
This might sound weird.
Okay.
I am more interested in the discussion around those two films and the fact that they're releasing on the same day and everyone's excited about it. I'm more interested in that than I am in the actual movies, because Oppenheimer, it's a movie about a guy dropping a bomb on a bunch of people. That doesn't seem like a good time to me. And then I've never really been interested in Barbie, and this is not a toxic masculinity thing. It's just Barbie was not for me. So I might end up seeing, if I see either of them, it'll most likely be Barbie, because that seems like a good time and not a movie about a bunch of sad stuff.
Right.
But I can't say that I'm particularly interested in either of those movies. So yeah. But I do like the memes and content and all the other stuff that has sprung up around the discussion of these two films.
Yeah, I love it. And the last time I saw something this prolific with the same exact juxtaposition of like something cute and something dangerous was when Animal Crossing and Doom came out. You remember that?
Yes. Yeah. Again, I went for the cute. I went for New Horizons. And I haven't played Doom yet. But yeah, people were just so excited that those two fandoms was just like, they just merged. It wasn't even a Venn diagram between those things, but they just formed a perfect circle. So yeah, that it is interesting when two things that are seemingly opposite release on the same day and people are excited about both from both sides. So social media does create magic sometimes. And we have to appreciate it for that. But yeah, the Barbenheimer thing is, let's call it a happy little accident.
Yeah. I'm, low key, I wasn't interested, but the fact that, like you said, there's so many people talking about it in the memes, I'm just like, maybe I should check this out and make it a whole day experience. I don't think I've ever done like a double feature before in my life. Now,
you simply must try it. I've done two.
What would you do?
Okay, so the first one was last year when I saw Spider-Man No Way Home, the third Tom Holland one, and what was the name of that Idris Elba lion movie?
Beast.
Beast. I saw those two movies on the same day. And then my partner and I, a couple weeks ago, we saw No Hard Feelings and Spider-Verse.
Wait, what's No Hard Feelings? Day.
Oh my goodness, No Hard Feelings. So the premise is a little weird. It is Jennifer Lawrence playing a millennial with daddy issues.
Okay.
Not
uncommon.
She takes basically she takes a job dating a 19-year-old because his parents want him to get some life experience before he goes off to college, because he's very he's not a very social kid.
This sounds like some rich white people mess.
It was. And you find out why he's not a very social kid, like in the movie, and you find out why Jennifer Lawrence is taking this job. But she's basically a broke millennial who needs a car because hers just got towed, and they are offering the car as a reward for dating their son.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah. But it's a comedy. It's raunchy.
Raunchy with a
The writing
19-year-old.
is
Ooh.
yes, yeah. The writing is very good. It's very funny, and they take a couple pokes at Gen Z, which I appreciated. So
Not
it's
you being an old
I thought it
curmudgeon.
was well, I'm at that age.
Gen Z's.
Um, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. You have to maybe have a little higher tolerance for like raunchy comedy, which I won't say there's a certain group of people who seems to hate anything that is genuinely funny, but yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I liked it a lot.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because that does sound a little crazy, and I do like crazy plots. Now, when it comes to the movie viewing experience, there was a huge controversy, of course, on social media for probably like a year because of COVID and everything that was going on. At home experience versus inside a theater. What do you think is the best, or do you think it shouldn't matter?
I am definitely a fan of the theater experience. There's something about seeing it on the giant screen with the Dolby Digital sound, surround sound 5.1, whatever they call it. And there's something about the like communal experience of watching a movie together and everybody sort of reacting to it in real time and just all enjoying or hating the experience together. You can't get that at home, even if you like invite a bunch of your closest friends over, because it's just not the same. But I will confess, there are some movies where I see the trailer and I'm like, I can wait till that one's on streaming. I can wait for that.
Okay, you gotta
one.
you gotta name at least one movie that you felt that for.
Expendables 4.
Oh wait, they have four?
Yes. They're on the fourth one. I believe it came out in theaters a couple weeks ago as of this
What?
recording. Or it's coming out. I don't know. I can't.
That's insane.
I don't.
How are they even like half those guys are like 80 now? What are they gonna be
Yeah.
doing?
Well, they have Megan Fox and 50 Cent now, so it's
What a pairing! What a pairing!
So it's different now, I guess. But yeah, that's one I'm gonna wait until it's on streaming. That Transformers: Rise of the Beast, I'm probably gonna wait till that one comes on streaming because I have not heard good things, but I still kind of want to see it because every now and then I like to torture myself with a terrible movie franchise.
Or what, as you would call it, a good bad movie.
Yeah. I want to see it first before I call it that because some of them are just bad movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there are some movies that's like you can probably wait till that one is on streaming. It's fine. But other things like a gonna say a big budget action movie as if that's not what the Expendables is. Just so there's a movie coming out from Marvel and Disney called The Marvels, which is Kamala Khan and Brie Larson's character and Photon, who is played by that actress whose
Tiana
name
Paris.
I should know. But yes, the trailers for that make that particular movie look like a lot of fun. And I can't watch a Marvel movie at home. I will fall asleep. I need to be in the theater so that I stay awake. And that's not totally the MCU's fault that I fall asleep. I
Yes, it
just
is.
fall asleep during movies. Well, I also fell asleep during Tenet, which is
Well, that's understandable. It's slow, and it was
it is a
whisper
slow
quiet.
movie. It was whisper quiet. But I just in general, if I'm watching a movie on my couch, I'm eventually going to go from sitting up straight to being completely horizontal. And then my eyelids will slowly shut, and I will be getting bits and pieces of this movie that I put on instead of watching it as a whole. But yeah. I'm definitely gonna see the Marvels in theaters. But like the next what's that other one? Shang-Chi? Probably watch that at home if I watch it at all.
Yeah. I'm kind of. You already know how I feel about Marvel. so I don't need to get into that. But an interesting thing that I did see, there was an article that came out, I think last week, right before Oppenheimer, right before, this week with Oppenheimer. Robert Downey Jr. is in that, and as many people know, Robert Downey Jr. was also Robert Downey Jr. was also the one and only Iron Man for like the last 20 years, right? So in this article,
kicked off that whole MCU thing.
Exactly. Which for better or worse was pretty amazing. Now, in this article, it was also an interview, and they were asking him, about his career and everything, and he said that his best films, according to himself, as Robert Downey Jr., were, I think he said, Dr. Dolittle and some other like obscure offbeat movie, and then he also said that Oppenheimer was one of his most important roles to date. Now, when he said that, the MCU fandom lost their minds.
Oh, I bet they did.
So my question to you is, do you feel, and this might be controversial and we might get flamed for this, do you feel that Marvel movies or the superhero genre actually make good films, or do you consider them to be like content, like a thrill ride?
Good question. So I think earlier in the MCU, they were trying to make good superhero movies. And they had some success. For me, in my opinion, the Thor and Captain America franchises were kind of up and down, a little bit spotty. I enjoyed all three of those Iron Man movies. Say what you want, the internet. I liked all three of them. But I think for a time they were trying to elevate the superhero movie genre, not to leave out the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, but that's one franchise, one character. What Marvel was doing was, for better or worse, creating an entire multiverse of films and characters and stuff. And I think at some point early on, they were genuinely trying to make good movies. But at some point, and I can't pinpoint where, it felt like they just started cranking them out. Because they were working up to like Infinity War and Endgame, and they're just like, we need to get these things out the door, out the gate, so we can stay on our timeline, so that our investors and stockholders don't get mad at us because their money was late. But the thing about what they did is that perfect example with DC. They are trying to mimic the success of Marvel without necessarily doing all the legwork, because that Justice League movie came a lot, I feel, sooner than the first Avengers movie did.
Yeah.
Because by the time the first Avengers movie rolled around, Captain America, we knew what he was about. Thor, we knew what he was about. Iron Man, we knew what he was about. And we were introduced to most of the other characters in that movie through those other movies. DC was kind of just like, here's a so-so Batman movie, a whatever Batman versus Superman thing. Here's one Aquaman, you get two Wonder Women, and one of them's gonna suck. And then here's your Justice League, which is also gonna suck. I kind of wish, I don't know. I kind of wish that Marvel had done I wish that the Marvel movies kind of had the low-key success of their comic books. Not that I don't want them to blow up and be this massive thing, but with that comes a lot of imitators who are not going to do it as well. And now we see it even outside of like the superhero. Everybody's trying to do a multiverse. Everybody wants to bring a whole bunch of characters into one thing and have it all be together. And I'm like, we don't need team up movies for everything. We don't need multiverse movies for everything. If you can do it right and do it good, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, made a
shout out to Michelle Yeoh.
Fantastic multiverse movie.
Beautiful. I cried at the end of that.
Me too. I watched it twice. I cried both times. Yeah, it's it I want to go back to the days where it was like every now and then we got like a few good Batman movies, a terrible Superman movie, and they didn't have to intersect. They could just be on the I wish we could go back to the days where the movie was the thing. It's not, this is the thing we're doing to set up the next thing. Because I feel like that's what everybody is like tripping over. That's the stumbling block, is like, we need to make this so that we can make this other thing. And it's like, no, just make the first thing. And if people like the first thing, then make the next thing. Don't plan 5 years down the road with like 40 different movies and expect them to all, yeah. Oh, I saw that. Oh my God. And expect them to all be good, to all release on time, to all make $60 billion. It's just not going to happen. You got to focus on one, I would say 1 or 2 projects at a time. But even 2 is pushing it because you don't know how the first one's going to do.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like we're playing Minecraft right now because you're hitting diamonds, bro. You mining up diamonds. And I feel like this is a very critical conversation, or important conversation, because like you said, they're not making movies just for the sake of the movie anymore. They're making movies to build up to the next thing so that they can sell you the toys, sell you the games, sell you the comics and all this stuff. It's just a big advertisement. And I kind of miss those days too, where it was just like, okay, we got these Spider-Man movies. 5 years later, we got some other joints going on, but they're all separate. And I feel that when you try to have this whole thing, because what's happening right now with DC and Marvel, they're doing something very interesting and unprecedented, but I think it's kind of falling to pieces because it's been going on for too long. I think at max, it probably should have been like a 5-year run of like maybe a handful of movies, and then they like when Endgame happened, that should have been it. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just like, let's keep going. Let's make like 40 more movies and TV shows and this and that. And I want to ask you, do you think that had they not gone this route, would the superhero genre been as popular as it is today, or would you think we'd still kind of have that traction, even though it would be sparsed out or spaced out rather?
I think it definitely wouldn't have been as mainstream, because I have friends who like never read a comic, never watched like a Justice League cartoon or that X-Men show from the 90s or the Spider-Man one. Like they never cared about that stuff until the MCU happened. Because now you got every Black person on the planet going to see Black Panther, which is beautiful. But it's that whole thing of people who never cared before coming into it and caring about it. And I have a friend, she came in on Black Panther, and she was like, well, now I have to watch the rest of these to find out what happened, what's going on with Black Panther, and why he feels this way, and why is he trying to kill this guy. So I don't think it would have been as popular, but I also don't think we would have as many bad superhero movies as we do, because Wonder Woman 84, I don't know what they were doing.
They tried, man. They tried. They hooked me with that trailer. That trailer was really dope. I love New Order. So Blue Monday for the trailer was just like, okay, I gotta watch this. But when I saw it, I was like, okay.
I've never seen Wonder Woman. Yeah, I've never seen Wonder Woman down so bad.
Yeah, they wasted. What's his name? Our boy. What's his name? Pedro Pascal. They wasted him.
Yes. So yeah, I think we gotta, might not like this, but we gotta maybe cut it out with the superhero movies for a little while. Just get rid of them. And I think I did see something where like Disney or Marvel gave a statement where they were like, we're sort of scaling back the amount of stuff we're doing.
We're going to jump into
that. Okay. Because my one question about that is like, are you doing that because it's oversaturated, or are you doing that because there are 2 strikes happening right now and you ain't got no one to write or act in your stuff?
That's a good question. We're going to jump into that. But before we do, there's one last thing about the superhero genre that I want to talk about, because I feel like you have a very strong opinion about this sort of thing. And I think that the Spider-Verse movies are really honing in on this as well. I think it's really brilliant because it adds another layer to the superhero genre or superhero fiction. Now, if people did not see this movie, we're not going to spoil it outright, so don't worry, you don't have to pause or skip or anything. But in the Spider-Verse movie, the new one that just came out, what was it called? Across the Spider-Verse?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Right. So it's dealing with something called canon. Now, for people that don't know, this word is basically used in all forms of fiction, where if you make a movie or write a book or have a video game and you make sequels, then they follow a particular line or narrative that is kind of like the 10 commandments of that franchise. So, you know, you have Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's supposed to be Peter Parker, and he's supposed to, you know, fight Doc Ock or whatever. But, you know, sometimes you have different variations of that. And that's what Spider-Man touches on Across the Spider-Verse. And I feel that it challenges that because in the movie you have, you know, Miguel, you know, Spider-Man 2099 coming against Miles for being, you know, not the canon or not being part of what's supposed to be the Spider-Man, you know, universe. So my question to you is, do you feel, let's just discuss this. Do you feel that canon should always stay the same? Or does it depend or vary from case to case? Or is it just like a bunch of bullcrap to you?
So I think I said something like on Twitter, or maybe it was to you about oh no, I tweeted it. I was like, I wish that canon wasn't a thing, but that was just so that people on the internet would stop using the word canon to mean the version of the character that I enjoy the most, because that's two different things. Now, characters and stories do need to have like pillars or core tenets that make them what they are. Otherwise it could be anything. It could just be anything. Like you said with Spider-Man, there's a certain like checklist of things that make a Spider-Man a Spider-Man. And even in those Spider-Verse movies, they even touch on the idea of like, this is what makes a Spider-Man a Spider-Man. We all experience these same few canon things that happen that make us who we are. However, I do believe that as much as canon gives you a checklist or guardrails as to what the character and story is, I feel like there should still be room to fuck around a little bit. Because like with Superman, going back to like the movies and comics and things, Superman is usually like the same guy over and over and over and over again, to the point where I get bored of Superman, because it's like, I already know what you're going to do. I already know what you're going to say. You're going to be on the good side. You're going to punch someone until they stop punching you back.
Or snap somebody's neck in a movie that a lot of people hated because it was not canon for him to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? When I see Superman snap a neck, I'm like, oh, now you have my attention, sir. Like, and,
2 hours in.
yeah, and like those two Injustice video games where Superman is kind of the bad guy, I'm like, this is an interesting thing for the character, because it takes one of those core tenets and it flips it on its side and says, what if Superman was evil? What if he didn't care about collateral damage? What if he was willing to kill people? What if something so horrible happened to him that it changed who he was as a person? And then you can play around in that and find like what's interesting about that version of that character. And you don't get that when you're sticking so close to the canon that the character doesn't have room to explore other possibilities. Now, I kind of understand why some people don't want to take that kind of risk, because one, there's the risk of it being a flop. And two, there is the guarantee that a few angry people on Twitter are going to threaten your life, which is that part of it is bullshit. But it also doesn't allow people who know these characters very well and are getting the opportunity to present their take on it. It doesn't give them the opportunity to add a little bit of themselves to the character, which is kind of, at least I'll speak for myself, that's what I want as a creator. Whenever I'm doing anything creative, I want to sprinkle a little bit of myself in it just so that it's unique. And you don't get to do that if you're worried about your project not making money and you're worried about people saying they're going to burn your house down if you give Superman a green cape instead of a red one. So I do think we have to leave some room for creative people to be creative, even if they're working on a well-known IP, a very well-known character. But I also believe that you should like don't make the character so different that you don't recognize it as what it is, because Superman can be angry. You're still gonna know it's Superman unless he's like bald and skinny and 4'9" and wearing Batman's outfit. That's a different character. You shouldn't call that Superman. But if he's just mad because the Joker shot Lois Lane and now he's a killer too, like that's something interesting that's an interesting change for the character. You can make interesting changes without completely making the character unrecognizable.
Yeah, I think it's such a, and that's beautifully said, by the way. I think it's such a harsh or volatile topic because there's so many different variations or variables to it, some of which you just listed, right? I think it really is important that we allow creatives, writers, or whoever to add their spin to it, to add their take on whatever they're doing, as you just said, And even for me, like when I do fan art, I don't want to do a carbon copy of, if I'm drawing Kim Possible, I don't want it to look exactly the same, because what's the point? I'm not trying to work with Disney. I'm trying to
I can trace it and make it look the same.
Yeah. Like I just want to like make my own version of Kim Possible or whoever else I'm doing. But then there are some parts where it's just like, okay, why did you go here? You know what I'm saying? Like recently we had a lot of old cartoons come into public domain, and the first thought that a lot of these folks had were, you know what if Winnie the Pooh was an axe murderer and like wearing a mask and maybe actually human? And it's like, huh?
Yeah, that's what I mean when you're like taking the character so far away from the canon that it's unrecognizable as what that character is. That's a little too. Winnie the Pooh, serial killer, they don't go together. They don't go together.
And it's funny because little do we realize, like growing up, we saw multiple variants of different characters in cartoons and shows growing up, and we didn't even realize it. Like a lot of the stuff that we saw, even if we think about our parents' era, like Hanna-Barbera cartoons, a lot of the stuff we had growing up were like the kids version, like Pup Named Scooby-Doo or Flintstone Kids or whatever the case may be. And those were very different things, but we enjoyed them because not only were they something new and fresh, but they also introduced a new generation to the older versions, and now we have a bigger group of people enjoying this franchise as a whole.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good, like a pup named Scooby-Doo, and sometimes it's bad, like Rugrats All Grown Up. The point is you're giving a creative person the opportunity to make some creative choices with well-known characters, and you can't, like, I feel like you can't deny someone that if you, especially, like, Marvel has hired some, like, auteur directors to make Marvel movies, but they just come out as Marvel movies and not sort of the style that a director would be known for. So it's all complicated. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you just gotta let the person work. You just gotta let the person work. And if they are getting a little too far away from what the character is, that's what a good editor is for. That's what whoever's job it is to say, just cross the line with that when you need to pull it back a little. That's what that person is there for. The creative person. The creative person is there to create, and then you have the other people who are there to say, let's make some adjustments here.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of complicated, you brought this up like 5 minutes ago. There's a lot of really interesting things happening in Hollywood right now. We have the Writers Guild of America, who have been on strike for the past month, but recently SAG-AFTRA which is the Screen Actors Guild, they partnered with WGA, with some other smaller organizations, to do a joint strike, which is the first time in 60 years this has happened. And this is happening because streaming and all the modern ways of entertainment have changed, but the contracts and the pay for all the people that work on these things that we love so much has not. So a lot of people are out there. I even saw Ned Declassified out there marching with people right now.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
And you said something that I thought was interesting. You said, well, it was an article, but they were scaling back on Marvel. They're scaling back on Star Wars. And I personally think it's a multitude of things. I think, one, they're probably tired of all this stuff because they got like 11 billion Star Wars shows and films, and same thing with Marvel. But also I think they're just trying to like scapegoat this problem as if this is a real thing, instead of actually paying everybody their, decent pay.
Yes, I hadn't thought about it from that angle. They're like, we're making less movies so that we don't have to pay as many residuals because y'all are asking for too much. Y'all are being unreasonable. I hadn't, viewing it from that angle makes it feel even more slimy than the angle that I mentioned before of them just being, of them not having writers and actors to write and act. But we are seeing this with the whole HBO thing, how they're transitioning HBO Max to just Max, and they're basically just deleting all these shows so they don't have to pay the people who made it, which is like, then what did you have them make it for? Obviously you had them make it because you wanted money. But now we're at this weird, I guess it's not a weird place. Rich people have never wanted to give the rest of us any money, but it's just like, I guess I don't understand the thinking behind it, because if you make something and it's making money and you're getting all that money, what is the issue with giving the people who made the thing money? Because that's how we used to do it. If somebody made a show, if somebody wrote a show and the show goes off the air, but it's in syndication, so they're playing it every night for eternity, the writers, the actors, the people who worked on that show get a check because you're still showing this show that they created. Now, why that is changing and why the greed has just gotten so out of hand and frankly blatant, I don't understand. Because you can't give people less and expect them to create the same quality and quantity that they were doing before. It just doesn't work like that. People are gonna start getting mad. They're gonna start asking where the money is. And the other thing is, the reason the writers and actors are striking is because either the people who are supposed to be paying them didn't come to the table to negotiate, or they did come and they couldn't come to an agreement. So it's like they are telling you, we want to work. We want to do this. We like being creative people and making these things that people enjoy, but we can't do it for free because that's not the world we live in. If we could do it for free and live, absolutely. They'd
still find a way. They'd still find a way to siphon energy and life from somebody. Like, just for a moment, work with me here, everybody, audience and BOMAYE. Close your eyes for like just a few seconds here and imagine yourself as like a 5'5" or 5'2" white guy, possibly balding, and you're filthy rich.
Okay, I'm there.
Yeah, here we go. You are the head of the biggest entertainment conglomerate in the world, and you just want more money, all right? You don't care.
Now you lost me.
You don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the fact that like Westworld was one of the most amazing things. They don't care that Insecure was an amazing black show. They don't care that Final Space was a unique and interesting animated series. They care the fact that if it's not going to make them the most money at the end of the day, they just got to get rid of it. All these things were tax write-offs. They got money for that. They got a big fat check for that, and nobody saw. The guy who made Final Space, which is a show I really loved, Olin Rogers, he does not even have control over his show anymore. So if he wanted to like go somewhere else and put it on YouTube, he can't. What they're allowing him to do is to create a comic to finish up the story, which is insane. And now Westworld and all the other shows, specifically talking about HBO shows, now they're now getting bought out by smaller little companies. So, or not even smaller companies, because Netflix now has Insecure.
Right.
And it's like,
which I'm like, where did Netflix? Where did you get money? Because you
know where they got it from.
You have not turned a profit in like 10 years. Where are you getting money to buy Insecure?
Drugs.
What? I really do hope Netflix is a money laundering scheme, because that would really explain a lot to me.
Yeah.
Like, I know y'all don't have money. I know you don't.
Yeah. I just think that this whole thing is insane, because I was reading, they've been updating. I follow Adam Conover. He used to work on True TV. Adam Ruins Everything, and he's like one of the coolest, dopest dudes out there, because he just gives you the straight up facts, and he's just always on the front lines. And they've been posting stuff, and there was an article that came out, because now a lot more actors are speaking up. There was an actress, I can't remember her name. There was an actress from Orange is the New Black, and she said that she got paid literally $28 in residuals from the show. There was somebody else from another like horror movie, a big name horror movie, and he got zero from that.
Jeez. And
other people are saying they've gotten hundreds. They used to make, there was this girl on TikTok, she was doing an interview, and she said last year or the year before she was making at least like 200K, and now she's barely making 20. You know what I'm saying? So everything is dropping. But Bob Iger or however you pronounce his name, he's sitting in his like $72 million mansion with a basketball court, a swimming pool, and all this stuff. And it's like, what is the point? Do you not care about art? Do you not care about entertainment in the sense of like, let's have a place for people to enjoy themselves? Like, what is going on? And I stand, and I'm sure you would say this too, I stand in full solidarity with whatever they got going on with the strike and decisions that they're making. Absolutely. Because they all deserve it. Honestly, it sucks to hear that, the people that have been here for the longest time, we're talking about the older actors too, like making all these great movies and stuff, are not getting compensated accordingly. It sucks that even new talent is not getting compensated accordingly. And it just is an abysmal thing. And I feel like this is now one of those moments where I think this will be the catalyst to a lot of change, whether it's going to be something incremental or massive, yeah. So yeah, like this is unprecedented. This is huge. And I think that now we're going to see a lot more people in different areas and different labor unions trying to come together and push back. Like, I would love it if content creators did the same thing. Because look at the stuff that happens with Twitch. Look at the stuff that happens with YouTube. Oh,
I would love that so much. So I don't know if you've seen this. You probably have. But SAG has basically asked cosplayers not to cosplay basically characters that are... Basically, they're like, don't cosplay like movie and TV characters. We're trying to have a strike right now. And that's like free advertising. That's showing support in the opposite direction of where we're trying to go. But I just have a feeling that there is... I don't have a feeling. I've seen it. There are certain pockets of the internet that's like, I don't care about solidarity. I'm going to do what I want to do. So I am going to cosplay. I am gonna cosplay as Oppenheimer. Try to stop me. I am gonna cosplay as Barbie. F you. And I really wish that we could all get on the same page in this country about certain things, because we could make it so that we get what we want, so that we get what's best for everybody. Because they're, compared to the amount of consumers and actors and writers and back-end employees there are. Compare that to how many like CEOs there are. It's like 1 to 1,000. We could show up and jump them and get everything we want, get fair wages. Yeah, get fair wages, get, competitive pay, benefits. We could get all that stuff. But there's just a certain pocket of very loud and dumb people who will fight against their own interests and ruin it for everybody. And that's including the CEOs and people, because they are unwittingly fucking themselves by trying to screw over the people who make it so that they can make the money that they make. We're seeing it play out in the lovely state of Florida right now, where their tourism is basically completely dead. There are truck drivers who are refusing to drive into that state.
Oh, wow.
It's getting real bad in Florida because the person running the show created an environment that's real, real, real bad. So I think if they don't come to the table, if they don't start negotiating, then they're going to start seeing their wages dwindle, which is the opposite of what they want. So it always just confuses me, because it's like the thing you want, which is to make more money, the way you get there is by treating the people who make the money for you better. What's so hard? What is so hard?
This ain't a Disney film. They not gonna do that, man, because you know what the problem is? They've set this up. When I say they, I'm speaking of the proverbial they, like the entities of they, right? We're all under this chase of the almighty dollar, right? You have people who are struggling. You have people who are POC or part of the LGBTQI plus community who are also like always under some sort of scrutiny or, mistreatment. And I'm not saying I agree, but I can see why a lot of people, especially content creators, especially people who are still trying to come up and make a name for themselves, are like leaping at the chance to cosplay, leaping at the chance to have a show. And it's like that somebody needs to sit down and like have a real conversation with them, because I feel like once you get online and you're just pointing fingers and you're like, hey, you can't do this, and it's like, you can't tell me what to do, but they don't really like fully understand. So I think there needs to be more language out there and needs to be more information so that they can make that decision. Now, if they do have the information, they still make that decision, then we need to kick them off the planet. But I do think there's this larger systemic thing that's going on that's making it difficult for people to make the right moves when they, should in these critical moments.
Yeah, it's difficult to. It puts a cramp in your solidarity when you still need to eat, when you still need to pay your rent. I understand that it becomes difficult when it's either I work or I die, because capitalism. But that's the world we live in, and unfortunately, we all have to make that decision. And some people just can't afford to make that decision. But there are people who can and just choose not to, and then we're kicking them off a planet. We're kicking them off this planet.
Planet.
Yeah, and they can just go to space and not be an ally up there. They can't do any harm.
That's what Elon's trying to do anyway.
Yo, what's good? This video is sponsored by my Patreon members over on patreon.com/habtoons. Patreon is an incredible platform that enables me to create my art and YouTube content full time. Patreon is also a space that allows me to connect with you, the fans, viewers, and members on a deeper level. As a Patreon member, you'll receive early access to new projects, exclusive patron-only content and merch, and many other incredible perks, such as your name being featured in a video. I post art and content on the Habtoons Patreon quite frequently, and there's always something new around the corner. Interested? You can join today and support the continued growth of the Habtoons brand. Link in the description below.
Look at my screen either. I just realized that. Don't look at my screen.
I saw it, and then that's why I started scrolling articles.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
I just realized that.
If I was a cheater, it would be so much fun.
Okay, everybody, we are back. We are back with the art block with BOMAYE and your guy all the way from Bed-Stuy Habbo, and we're going to play a little game called Scribble.io, and I kind of liken it to Pictionary meets Jeopardy meets Hangman, where we have to guess words and draw them and blah 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 blah. You'll see how it works. And I have a whole theme set up right now, so these are going to be 80s movies. BOMAYE is the movie buff here, and he's seen a lot of these joints. So let's see how this goes. We're gonna start right now. Let's go. Round one, fight.
Okay. Choose a word. Big, The Goonies, Elvira.
You're not supposed to say them out loud.
Oh shit. Well, you don't know which one I picked.
I do.
How do you know?
Because you said big.
Oh. I said all of them.
But it was 3 words. It was 3 letters. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got one for you. Okay. All right. Let's see how I can do this. Okay.
Come on. I want to see something.
Sitting at a table. But there's also a thing here. And this is what the cavemen used, and this is food. And I promise I'm a real artist. And
no, that looks great.
What else can I put here? Oh, let's put some. Pretend that's like bacon. Okay.
Bacon.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going because you still got time.
What am I supposed to glean from this?
I'm gonna give you one hint. What do you eat in the morning?
Breakfast?
Right. So we're at breakfast and we're having a good time. There's some Pop-Tarts over here. Look at that. Oh my God, crazy good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do I have? 17 seconds.
Got 17 seconds. And
now the problem is spelling.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. There we go.
Hey, you got it. The Breakfast Club. See, it was a club hovering over.
Yes.
And, yeah. The Pop-Tarts.
You drew a club over a. Okay, this one.
All right, let's see what you got cooking.
Now what? Now I have to draw something.
Yes, with your finger.
That's unfortunate. Okay, boom.
All right.
All right. So let's just lay down.
That's a man.
A body.
Bodies.
Then we will give this body some details.
I already know.
And then, hold on, I'm not done.
As soon as I saw that red. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Let's see what we can do. This might be easy. This one might be easy. All right.
2 words. I'm into this now.
Where's my thing? Hey, it won't let me draw.
Come on.
What the heck?
Put something on the page.
I'm trying to.
Every single day, put something on the page.
Oh my God. Okay, Bob Ross. Oh, you know what? It made somehow my ink went to white. Racist.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Okay, so this is a snake.
No, that's bad. Okay, you're not gonna get this then. Oh my God.
It's not a snake?
I'm drawing objects from the movie. I'm trying to remember what they look like.
That's a hat?
Yes.
A snake in a hat?
Okay, actually, there are snake. Okay, yeah, so that could work now. Okay, so yes, this is a snake. This is now a snake, and that's a hat. And what else
is that supposed to be a whip?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it! God damn it!
Who's Indiana Jones?
Indiana.
Who's
Anna.
Indiana Jones?
Jone. No, not B. NES.
The fact that you had 3 seconds left. Oh, trying to respell it. Oh my God. Indiana Jones. These are 80s movies, folks.
Oh God. Okay. These are all good choices. One of these I just watched recently.
Ooh.
but that's not a hint you're gonna be able to do anything with.
That's 4 letters. 80s movie. I don't even remember what I put in.
Good. Nope, my phone.
Wait, I know what that
use...
is. I don't know why. I just knew. I saw brown, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it.
So that's a sandworm. It's really far away.
Wait, so you saw the old one?
No, I watched the Timothy Chalamet one.
Oh, you gotta see the. Oh God, they timing me for this too. Okay. Yeah, the old one is crazy. Okay, let's see. We're gonna draw. Okay, he's angry, right? He's like. Let's give him like a dented forehead here. Make him look a little bit more human.
12 Angry Men, The Mask.
Give him some hair. It's flown in the wind, or maybe not because it's an afro, so they don't really do that unless they're like fluffy. Okay, he's running, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna get you, and I'm running, but I also have a weapon, and I'm gonna get all of you.
It's not Blade.
Because Blade definitely was in the
Blade.
80s.
It should have been.
Let's see. Oh, and then there's this person over here, and they're like scared, they're terrified, like, oh my God. What are you?
No,
what are you
I'm not
doing?
getting it.
What are you doing? I'm all right. I'm real. I'm human.
Real.
Oh my God. He's running with a weapon. He's running with, what is that? It's a shiny sword. What are swords called? They're also called
Blade Runner.
Yeah, he was running with a blade. I was trying to be clever.
Oh my God, Blade Runner. Yeah. All right. Let me draw this time.
Let me be me.
Ooh. Okay.
So they said, what are you gonna do with the Dial of Destiny? He's like, they were like, where are you gonna go? He's like, I'm gonna go home. I haven't been home in a long time. I'm like, this man is done. He wants to get out. He hates it. What the heck?
So that's a magnifying glass.
Oh.
This is a
I
thing
just
that
opened the whole program by accident.
This is a thing that, there you go. That was a thing that you use to open doors.
Yeah.
And not a guy with a leg sticking out.
This one's gonna be, I gotta make this difficult. Okay.
Okay, 1 word, 6 letters. What do you mean make it difficult? I'm already struggling. This one is definitely The Mask.
Let's see.
I'm
trying to remember what he looked like in that movie.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. Dudley Do-Right.
Wow. Great answers, though. I love them, but they're all wrong. Let's see. Let's make him a little bit round. Give him little hands like that, and maybe a little bow tie action.
What?
It's a villain from a particular franchise.
Wait.
Hey,
yeah.
So who was that? What I was drawing?
That's the Penguin.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah. It was Danny DeVito's Penguin, actually.
Okay. Yeah. If you say so. So he has a nice big round head. That's a bit more pointy than I wanted it to be.
There we go. Hat.
That's a bit more round. So that, okay. And then he's got like a little like visor action.
Visor action? Who the heck is this? Oh.
Here. And then he's got yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
That movie was crazy, man. I think I watched that one actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Should have done that.
Yeah, it was interesting. Okay, I'm trying to remember what this guy looks like. He was very like to look at. Not to be mean, but like, yeah. He wasn't the I think he has some hair
And
on top.
oh, it's not the
Jesus.
thing. Oh, who is that?
That's that guy. You know the guy.
He's from the
You
thing.
want a hint?
Yes.
Hey, you guys. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. The big thing.
Ugh, there we go. Okay. And then it has
It's a coconut.
big
Donkey Kong.
eye holes.
Eye holes. I don't even remember what I put on that list.
And then also a bunch of wait. This'll sell it. Hold
Who
on.
is that?
I think it's a triangle-like shape
Who is that?
up here.
What the hell?
And then there's some
Oh.
triangle-like shapes here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
There
wait,
you
what's
go.
going on?
I was in a PE class with 4 Chris's.
Nah.
Couple Dereks.
Yeah, I knew at least one Derek. He was annoying.
Is that a duck?
Yes.
Well then,
Howard. One of the biggest movie flops of the 80s. If you would have told me this would have been a franchise that lasted more than 20 years, I would have been like, what?
we love our animes.
Like, they're literally making more DLC for Kakarot.
How? That game already has everything.
I don't know, man. They're doing the martial arts tournament from Dragon Ball, like the original series. So you're fighting on the ground in the ring as like young Goku, young Piccolo, Tien, and I'm just like, is
Okay.
anybody gonna buy this? Like, really? You think? Wait, what is going on here?
So this is a person riding a bike.
Where's
I
the
haven't
person?
found the person yet.
yet. Wait, riding a bike? Who rides a bike?
Not like a bicycle, but like it's sort of like a motorcycle.
Wait, no, it's 2 words. 1 word. Oh, wait, what?
So they're riding. Where's their other leg? Let's put it here. Yeah, right
oh my
there.
God, it's a
And
light
then there's like
cycle.
a trail.
Jesus.
Yes, there you go. Okay. Is that lady with the big eyes gonna be in it again?
Oh, I love her. That's what's her name? Olivia.
Yes.
Olivia.
Wild.
Yeah, she married that
Wild,
prince,
yeah.
and they live on the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
No.
Yeah, she lives on a bus, like a school bus. They renovated it, and yeah.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Okay, so
What is it? Is that a
bells?
Is that a roach?
You're close. It's definitely a bug. It's not a roach.
Oh.
Do I need to keep going? You want me to do another? Let me see. What else can I think?
No,
of?
it's just a matter of spelling now.
Tiny. Oh, okay. I was about to draw the tiny head.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, like everybody else is like, yeah, we're gonna stop, and here they go. Nah, we found a loophole. We're gonna still film it. I'm like, I ain't watching it now.
So he's got like, oh, that's just an arrow, and that's just a line. That's the wrong color.
Yeah.
So
It's a bao bun. I love those.
this character
It's a dumpling.
has sort of dreadlocks. Kind of.
Who has dreadlocks in?
But they
The Matrix?
are pointy on the ends. It's real good.
Knuckles. Sonic.
They don't. The points on the end don't really do anything. They're just very threatening.
What?
And he's got a like. How would I draw a claw? He wears a lot of fishnet, if that helps.
No, I don't even. What the hell did I put in this game? What is this?
And this character, who is also the title of the movie, is from another planet.
Who?
And they like to go to other planets to hunt.
Oh
Because
my god!
they-
Oh my god! Wait! No! Wait! I gotta spell it.
Like
Wait!
hunting the ultimate.
Oh no! Oh
It
my
was actually
god!
Craven the Hunter.
Cigarettes.
A pillow. A hot pocket.
Hot pocket.
Oh, a
Cigarette,
helmet.
cigarette, and I think there was like
3 words.
scuffs and maybe like a bullet on the side. That's just pretend that's a bullet. It looks like a pencil, but it's a bullet. I think there was like some other stuff here. Just gonna draw some nonsense right here that looks dirty.
Just a lot of stuff in that
it's a
helmet.
helmet. That's not getting you, so I'm gonna draw something else. Okay, I'm gonna draw
I'm
this
making-
character or this actor as they look now, but when they were in this movie, they did not look like this at all.
I'm making a guess.
Okay,
No, those were mistakes.
germs.
So let's pretend this is a field,
Angels in the outfield.
and there
The Green Mile.
are guys over here.
Cirque du
Wait,
Soleil.
this is. I'm thinking of the wrong movie. Hold on.
Oh,
Get rid of all that.
yes, give me the free points.
Um,
Yes.
So we'll go. This guy is over here with his
I like
legs
his
that are
chair
like
legs. Yeah. He rolls around.
that.
Oh,
got-
I know this. There can be only one. There could be only one.
And
Hold on.
there's another guy over here.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've never seen the film. Never seen it, but I know that line.
that is clearly.
I gotta do the hair. What? Her hair didn't stick up. I think it was down. I can't remember. She was big back in the day. She was everywhere, man.
I think I remember seeing this amongst one of the choices.
There's a song named after her. Yeah.
Yeah,
Elvira.
she had big hair.
Yeah. I know what it is. I think I know what it is, but I'm just gonna let you do your thing.
It's not gonna get better. It's not gonna get any more
Hey,
clear.
We're here to be entertained, not accurate. Okay.
Let's just give it some lines because why not? And in fact,
What in the world?
Let's-
What?
let's add a victim.
Oh
'Cause
Jesus! Let me just type
they're
this in so I can get
getting-
all the points.
They're getting run over by this thing.
I think the thing was like a blob or something. I don't know what it was.
It was some kind of blob that just consumed people.
It kind of looked kind of creepy. They had like that weird thing on their face.
Okay.
They were like really weird looking.
This is just
Things.
Vecna. You're drawing Vecna.
11. Oh, I love Stranger Things. I love it, love it, love it. I should rewatch that one day. Okay.
Who is this?
Who is this?
This-
It's Uncle Leo.
No, I typed in Uncle Leo. It didn't.
I think they wore suits as well, so I'm gonna draw like a little suit and tie.
This is one of those guys from like Fallout.
It's a cool. A smooth
This is a
skin.
cool. Yeah.
Oh god.
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
I've only got 3 seconds.
Yeah. It's a movie called They Live.
It's kind of coming out a little like Ratchet from Ratchet and Clanky.
Oh, wonderful series.
You have like little stripes on your body
Tony
somewhere.
the Tiger. It's crazy how I forgot what I put on the list. These are things I put on. Like,
Well, you don't want to get them wet or feed them after
oh
midnight.
my Jesus! Yeah,
So that
helps a lot.
That's a thing.
Because I don't know what she was trying. But then this is like one of those like old school sci-fi joints. So like they just oh
So that's a head.
yes, absolutely.
Imagine the head has like very all white pale skin. Here are the eyebrows
Yeah.
and the eyes.
Yeah.
They like to wait. So there's the mouth.
Shiny
and
and chrome.
then they like to spray.
Shiny and chrome. Witness me,
They like
brother.
to spray their mouths, and they're all bald. I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's just go with it because I'm bald.
They all
They're all
stink.
bald.
That looks like the Binding of Isaac, really. All right, I got 30 seconds. Let me just type it in before I lose all the points.
They like to yell, "Witness me!" They call people blood bags.
Mediocre.
Okay.
And okay, just
Casablanca.
imagine. Yeah,
Good
he's looking
Burger.
at you, kid. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that movie, the Good Burger
That's
movie.
right. They are doing another.
Yeah. So imagine
Good
this is a
Burger.
person, okay, and
This looks like a letter with a weird seal on it.
I'm doing them very simple because if I draw details, you're going to really get it immediately. But this is
I
a
want to
person,
get it immediately.
and they are going through something right now, and that something
Yeah,
is something that people don't normally go through,
Yeah, they're stuck in a letter.
He's crawling, and he's on a
Oh,
mission. And
I was looking at it from the wrong perspective.
He's bald.
It's an ACAB movie.
BOMAYE, thank you so much for being here tonight and expressing some of your amazing opinions and thoughts on not just content creation, but the movie industry and general mental health and wellness. And I think it's great to, you know, have those conversations, especially in this day and age where there's so much happening and everybody's just trying to have a voice and everybody's trying to be heard, everybody's trying to be seen. So I appreciate that. But let the folks know where they can find you and if you're working on any new projects coming up this year.
Oh, yes. So, as I mentioned earlier, I stream on Twitch Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings. I'm playing Souls games on the weekends, indie games, and maybe some of my backlog games on Wednesday nights. And that's twitch.tv/BOMAYE is back. You can also find me on Twitter at BOMAYE is back. And I'm not really working on anything in particular right now, but come through for the Twitch streams. They're
great. Fun. Oh, I thought you were going to do the Tony the Tiger thing, but it's all right.
No, I should have. That would have been better than just landing on fun like a wet fart.
Oh, God.
But yeah. Twitch.tv/BOMAYE is back and twitter.com/BOMAYE is back.
All right, awesome. And you know what? Everybody, if you don't come to the Saturday morning streams, I will personally come find you and make sure that you do not have access to any oxtail at all.
Oh, you don't want that.
Or oxtail burritos.
Ultimate, that's hell. That's my hell.
Yeah. But until next time, until we meet again, stay rad, stay dope, stay gold. We out. Deuces.
Bye.